TropicalToyota.com.
Always with you when you need us most. 24/7. News Radio 740 KTRH.
Coming up on 619, we're glad that you're with us. Sheriff's been doing the story about some hospitals charging up to 1,000% more than they should be for certain procedures. Dr. James Pinckney joining us. He's with Diamond Physicians. It's a concierge kind of care business. And Dr. Pinckney, you and I have talked before, 1,000%. Now, what's interesting to note about this is that most of this is taking place with two different Tennessee-based companies that own these for-profit hospitals. So I don't know if it's a systemic thing, but it certainly could be, right?
Oh, it's absolutely systemic. Hospital charges and markups have gone through the roof. And it really started back in 2000. In the 80s, things were relatively under control. And all these procedures and price points are based on Medicare reimbursement. So when you file an insurance claim, whatever Medicare reimburses the hospital, that's the baseline. So back in the 80s, it was about a 1.35x markup. And then in 2000, these prices started to rise. And now we're getting up to 1,000% increase, 10 times the Medicare reimbursement rate, which is absolutely out of control.
So what
we've got them.
So what's going on is these companies, these hospitals are charging the government or the American taxpayer 1,000% more than they should in order to what? To screw them out of money or to recoup costs from those that are uninsured, or both?
Both. They're actually charging the American people. So the government, it's fixed. It's locked in. Whatever Medicare and Medicaid reimburse, that's what the hospital gets.
Right.
But American people, whether if you don't have insurance or you have an insurance provider that's out of network with the hospital, then you are taken to the cleaners. And basically, the most common heart procedure in the country is a heart catheterization with or without a stent placed to open up an artery. That typically costs about $15,000. That's what Medicare reimburses the hospitals. But hospitals will charge $70,000 or $80,000 to an uninsured patient or to a patient with insurance out of network to try and gather as much cash as they can and make as much money. So we've completely lost our morals and our ethics and fiscal responsibility, and medicine has gone to just making money instead of being about helping people, and that's what we want to.
Has the Affordable Care Act made this better or worse? It would seem to me it's made it much worse.
It's made it much worse. Insurance premiums are going up. Out-of-pocket expenses for Americans are going up, and it's spiraling out of control. You know, we spend 17% of our GDP on health care. Prices are rising at twice the rate of inflation, and we cannot continue to spend this much money on healthcare expenditures.
All right.
It's really a bad situation.
So let me do this. Let me take a quick traffic and weather check. Let me come back and ask you, is there an alternative solution? Is there a solution that people should look into? I'll get your answer to that in just a second. Dr. James Pinckney joining us this morning. Let's take a look at traffic and weather together. Another beautiful sunrise in Houston. How about traffic?
It's getting a little bit better. There is applause being done on the Gulf Freeway because that accident scene from Calhoun did finally clear up, so your lanes are starting to move again. It was a backup that got you onto the Pierce Elevated, so it's going to be a few minutes before you get back up to posted speeds on the outbound side, but that accident has cleared to allow you to be able to do that. Inbound running just over 30 minutes from Nassau Parkway as you start seeing your normal slowdowns on your way in. 45 the North Freeway, you've got your normal slows once inside of the Beltway. In fact, you're spending about 15 minutes just from the Beltway until you get past Little York. Now, you do have an accident over on the feeder road lanes of 45. It's going to be on the inbound side right as you get to 249. This is going to mess you up on the feeder road itself. Also on 249 on the, what is that, the west side of 45. So watch out for some delays up in that area. Of course, slowing down on 290 as you would expect. 40 minutes now needed from the Grand Parkway into the West Loop. I'm Kelly Stevenson, the KTRH, GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center.
Checking your 24-hour weather center. Chance of showers and thunderstorms today. Highs today in the low 90s. Clear tonight. Lows in the mid-70s. Good-looking morning. 75 at your official severe weather station. News Radio 740 KTRH. We'll check headlines right now with Cheryl. Morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, everyone. It's 6:23 on News Radio 740 KTRH. One person is dead, a 17-year-old father of two. 3 others wounded in a shooting outside a home in the 3rd Ward. The search for 2 convicted killers who escaped from a New York prison has expanded to Vermont now. Authorities looking at campgrounds and state parks. Carrie Underwood, the big winner at the CMT Awards, taking home 3 trophies, including Video of the Year. More on these stories right now at KTRH.com and coming up here at the bottom of the hour.
Your Katie forecast coming up on the half hour. Now, back to the conversation with Matt Patrick.
623. Thank you for making us a part of your morning. Dr. Pinckney, the only question I have is there an alternative? You and I talking about hospitals charging as much as 1,000% over their cost to some uninsured patients or patients out of network. What's the alternative for people?
Well, I think the only way to lower cost is to find out the true cost of care, and we need to introduce price transparency in the marketplace, and that's exactly what my company in Dallas, Diamond Physicians, that's what we try to do. So instead of charging insurance for routine maintenance of health, we actually pay cash. Our clients pay cash, and it's a low monthly fee. Kids are $45 a month. Adults are at $95 a month, and they receive unlimited visits, no copay, 24-hour access to the doctor, 80 to 90% discounts off labs and imaging, and unlimited urgent care. So that insurance should be used for catastrophic issues. So if you need surgery, if you have, unfortunately, have cancer, need cancer treatment, if you get in a car accident, things of that nature. That's what we should use insurance for.
Our top story this hour, we're focusing quite a bit on medicine. You know, health care, thanks to the government, is going to force you to keep a tighter grip on your wallet. If McDonald's marked up their Big Macs by 1,000%, you probably wouldn't buy them, right? Well, KTRH's Cliff Saunders is live now and says it looks like that's exactly what hospitals are doing, forced by the government, with your health care.
So how does this work, Shara? Well, Dr. James Pinckney at Diamond Physicians explains.
If you go in there for a hip replacement, you can even have private insurance, and let's say it's out of network with the hospital, and that hip replacement costs $20,000, they will charge you $200,000 at some hospitals.
And you did not hear things. So why is this happening?
Greed? I don't know. But what I do know is that we have to start practicing fiscal responsibility and introduce price transparency into the market.
Pinckney says it's actually much easier than you think.
We can use our medical insurance like we use our car insurance or our health insurance. Prices will drop tremendously. When you fill up your car with gasoline, you swipe a credit card. You do not file an insurance claim.
Now, the markups, which Pinckney says really went into high gear about 15 years ago, Shara, just one more reason why more people are turning to concierge medicine, paying that flat monthly fee and getting total access to their doctors.
Taking the insurance companies and taking the government, Medicare, and that sort of thing out of it. They're just going straight to the medicine and doing it in the marketplace.
And you let the doctors compete. You know, I mean, that's what we need to do. Let hospitals compete. I mean, this is crazy. Absolutely
they've got all these different standards based on, again, government. Elderly doctors becoming more common as patient loads are growing and physicians are becoming more scarce. Medical associations don't plan, by the way, on forced retirement age anytime soon.
More and more individuals over age 65 will have good cognitive and good motor function. More people in job areas are going to work past age 65.